but instead of them shooting bullets, they shooting ice. And they would shoot this ice at our ancestors. So our ancestors were giants, and all their bodies piled up one on top of another, and this is what created the ice wall. This is why it's so tall and so high. All right? So this is also why we have a cold front on the planet, because the planet was naturally warm. However, you got a huge block of ice sitting in the water, right? So this is why the water is cold. I mean, if you take ice and put it in a cup of water, what's going to happen to the water? It's going to become what? It's going to become cold, right? Of course, it's going to become cold. So the reason it becomes cold is because of the ice that you're putting in the water, all right? The same way as if you were to sit inside your house and have a block of ice in the house, the whole house will become cold. Well, the water becomes cold because of the ice, the few ice blocks. And this is also why the Pacific Ocean is cold, the Atlantic Ocean is cold. When we go to the Caribbean, it's warm. The water is warm because the Caribbean Ocean, if you pay attention, the Caribbean is in the middle of the realm, while the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean is water that encircles the landmass and it rubs against the ice wall. So this is why the water is cold. Naturally, the water used to be warm anciently on this planet. You get what I'm saying? So this is also where your cool breeze come from. Because remember the four phases of matter: solids, liquids, gases, plasma, energy. Well, air is a part of the gas plane, right? So the air waves is a high vibratory phase of the water waves. And air works just like water. Just like the boats. Boats can carry water on the waves, where air can carry thoughts on the airwaves, as well as the coolness from the ice walls. So the wind or the air brushes up against the ice walls and carries this back to the countries that we live on. And this is where you get your cool breeze from in the air, because the air was naturally warm. The only places no one noticed, the warmest place on the planet right now is in the middle of the planet. That's when you're dealing with continents like Africa or the Caribbean. Right? So this is where this has come from, because of these ice walls. And you don't have one ice wall, you have multiple ice walls. All right? So, you got us in the middle, and then you got the ice wall. And then on the other side of the ice wall, you got another group of us, which are Atlanteans, and then you got another ice wall. And then on the other side of that, you have another group of Atlanteans, and then another ice wall. So think of the bull's eye, and I'll have my team put the bull's eye logo up. The bull's eye logo literally is an example of not only the all-seeing eye, it's symbolic of the all-seeing eye, but it's also symbolic of how they have used in the Sub-Zero technology to set up ice blockades to section us off from the rest of our family, right? The thing about these ice walls is you can go to these ice walls. There's creases in between each ice wall that allows you to get to the other land. And it just so happened that Admiral Byrd, he flew over the ice wall. So this was the purpose of Operation High Jump, right? And the thing is that shadow government, they try to keep the public from going to Antarctica because you would see these ice walls. And they don't want you to understand that you are on a realm, not some ball of water floating 1,000 miles up. Because they teach you that the Earth is a ball of water that's spinning 1,000 miles per hour on its axis. You get what I'm saying? And that's not what's going on. So, they lie to you about the topography of the cosmos and the topography, which is the landscape, if you study topography and geography of how the planet looks, because that keeps you unaware of what's going on. Then it will have to tell you how everything was ancient. But yes, you have other tribes on the other side of these ice walls. So the whole reason of Operation High Jump and synopsis was just strictly to come up with a cover story so they can let the public know photographers out there with the photographer's sole job was to make sure they take pictures of nothing but open ice. And these images were to be shown to the public so that when they say, hey, we went into the Operation High Jump and it was nothing out there but open ice. And these are the pictures. But and if you know anything about Antarctica, just in the little research they will let you know, it's mountain ranges in Antarctica. And it's rivers in Antarctica. And lakes. And we know that mountains is tree stumps. So what does that tell you? If Antarctica is the largest landmass, and it has all these mountain ranges, which are ancient tree stumps, that lets you know what's going on. Because this realm is Atlantis, and it has been sectioned off by these ice walls. But these ice walls is literally the body of our ancestors that was frozen to death. This is also where the icebergs come from that flow through the water. The icebergs is literally frozen limbs, elbows, kneecaps, shoulder blades, because we were giants. You get what I'm saying? We were giants, cosmic family. So Operation High Jump was just another cover story that they put out there to stop people from knowing the truth about the realm and the planet. And they silenced Admiral Byrd. You know, his original journal is hard to find, right? And he was told never to say nothing about what he saw again, him and the rest of his crew. And then the people that did participate in Operation High Jump, it was 1,000 men. Hundreds of people got killed. Only like 300 people came back. And none of them was able to speak about what they saw. They put out another story saying that, hey, people died because of the cold weather. And that's not the truth. All right. And as far as the shadow government, they have actual bases under the ice, and they meet under the ice once every 3 years. And they have huge underground cities under the ice in Antarctica where they meet and hold important meetings. All right. So this planet is Atlantis. Right? This planet is composed of 9 realms, with Atlantis being one of them. And this is why they lie about the maps, because they don't want you to know this truth. All the land is connected, and we are surrounded by one huge ice wall. And this is why that ice wall got there, because of this war that took place. And on the other side of the ice wall, you have more of our Atlantean tribes. And they are aware of us, yet we are not aware of them. And when they try to get to us, they are cut off, because the shadow government and extraterrestrial races such as the Afro-Draconian, reptilians, and Pleiadians are at war with them. Right? Keeping them from getting to us. And then on our end, they have it set up where you can't even come to Antarctica. And if you do, they're going to take you to a certain section and show you a couple ice mountain ranges, and that's it. But there are passageways through the ice that leads to the land. Those are all covered and blocked off by military personnel. Right? You need a special permit just to fly over Antarctica. Right? And they definitely going to let you fly over Antarctica on your own, or they're going to shoot the motherfucking plane down. So, Operation High Jump is just one of the many cover stories they like to put out about places on our land, on the planet, to keep you blind to the planet you live within. You wouldn't even have a cold front if it wasn't for that ice that surrounds you. The water wouldn't even be cold if it wasn't for the ice blocks, the ice wall that surrounds us. This is where they use that same ice to create their wonder-making technology, too. This is where the ice crystals come from that they put in the clouds, right? And from these ice crystals in the cloud, this is where you get your snow from, your freezing weather from, your cool breeze from when the wind blows. Because of all this ice. The ice stand almost 500 feet above the water. And this is why they've been telling you, oh, the ice is melting and things like that, global warming, because they are afraid. And if you go research the glaciers melting, they're going to tell you that the glaciers are composed of carbon, and we know who is composed of carbon. Human beings do not have carbon. They have melanin. They lack carbon. If they had carbon, they would be able to take the sunlight and channel the energy of the sun. They don't. They have melanin. This is why the sun destroys them. But a lot of human beings have been lied to as well, because they are not part of the original 12 tribes that are pushing Satan's agenda. So they are also kept out the loop. And in government, you have different levels of security. You have security clearance 1 through 33, and above that you have top secret security clearance 1 through 33, and then above that you have ATS, above top secret 1 through 33.